Florida, land of sunshine, swamps, space rockets, and a history full of surprises. It holds the oldest city in America and once belonged to 4 different flags. This is the complete history of the Sunshine State. Long before the tourists, this land belonged to its first peoples. For thousands of years, powerful nations lived here. The Calusa ruled the southwest coast, building cities from seashells. The Timucua farmed and hunted across the north. The Apalachee, the Tequesta, and others thrived across the land. They had no idea their world was about to change forever. In 1513, a Spanish explorer sailed into view. His name was Juan Ponce de Leon. He landed during the Easter season of flowers. So he named the land La Florida, the place of flowers. Legend says he was searching for a fountain of youth. He never found it, but he claimed Florida for Spain. Other nations wanted this land too. In 1564, the French built a fort on the coast. Spain saw them as a deadly threat. So in 1565, Spain struck back and founded a fort of their own. They named it St. Augustine. It became the oldest continuously occupied European city in America. The Spanish then destroyed the French colony nearby. To defend the city, they built a massive stone fortress. The Castillo de San Marcos still stands today. Spain ruled Florida for 200 years. They built missions to convert the native peoples. But disease and raids devastated the original nations. As the old tribes faded, a new people emerged. They were the Seminole, formed from many groups. They would become Florida's most famous native nation. In 1763, Florida suddenly changed hands. Spain traded it to Britain after a war. For 20 years, Florida flew the British flag. Then, after the American Revolution, it returned to Spain. But Spain's grip was weakening. American settlers began pushing into Florida. Runaway slaves also fled here, seeking freedom. Many found refuge among the Seminole. This sparked conflict with the United States. In 1817, General Andrew Jackson invaded Florida. It was the start of the long Seminole Wars. Jackson's raids made Spain's position impossible. In 1819, Spain agreed to give Florida to the United States. In 1821, Florida officially became American territory. But the Seminole refused to leave their homeland. A brilliant leader named Osceola rose to fight. In 1835, the Second Seminole War exploded. The Seminole used the swamps as a deadly weapon. They struck and vanished into the Everglades. It became the most expensive Indian war in American history. Osceola was captured under a flag of truce. He died in prison, but his people fought on. Most Seminole were forced west to Oklahoma, but a few hundred never surrendered. They hid deep in the Everglades, unconquered. Their descendants still live in Florida today. In 1845, Florida became the 27th state. Its economy was built on cotton and enslaved labor. So when the Civil War came, Florida chose its side. In 1861, it seceded and joined the Confederacy. Florida supplied beef and salt to the Southern armies. The biggest battle here was the Battle of Olustee. After the war came the long years of Reconstruction. Then one man transformed Florida forever. His name was Henry Flagler, an oil tycoon. He built a railroad down the entire East Coast. Where his trains went, luxury hotels followed. He turned sleepy beaches into glamorous resorts. In 1896, his railroad reached a tiny settlement. That settlement became the city of Miami. Flagler even built a railway across the sea to Key West. Tourists poured in to enjoy the endless sunshine. In the 1920s, Florida exploded into a land boom. People bought swampland sight unseen, dreaming of riches. Prices soared to insane heights. Then in 1926, a monster hurricane struck Miami. The boom collapsed almost overnight. The Great Depression deepened the pain. But Florida always finds a way to rise again. World War II brought soldiers and airfields to the state. Its warm weather was perfect for training pilots. After the war, a new invention changed everything. Air conditioning made the heat bearable year-round. Millions of Americans moved south to retire in the sun. Then, in 1971, a magic kingdom opened near Orlando. Walt Disney World turned Florida into the world's vacation capital. Tourists arrived by the tens of millions. Meanwhile, history was being made on the coast. At Cape Canaveral, America reached for the stars. The rockets that went to the moon launched from Florida. Every space shuttle roared into the sky from here. Florida became the gateway to outer space. The state was also changing in another huge way. After Cuba's revolution, refugees fled to Miami. Hundreds of thousands built new lives in Florida. In 1980, the Mariel boat lift brought a massive wave more. Miami transformed into a vibrant Latin American hub. The city pulsed with new energy, music, and business. But nature never lets Florida rest. In 1992, Hurricane Andrew flattened parts of South Florida. It was one of the costliest storms in American history. Floridians rebuilt, as they always do. At the heart of the state lies a unique wonder. The Everglades, a vast river of grass. It is home to alligators, panthers, and rare birds. There is nothing else like it on Earth. Today, Florida is the third most populous state in America. People come from all over the world to live here. Its economy runs on tourism, space, farming, and trade. From oranges, to beaches, to rocket launches. Florida draws over 100 million visitors a year. From the Calusa, to the Spanish, to the Seminole. From 4 different flags, to the gateway to space. Florida has never stopped reinventing itself. The Sunshine State is always chasing the future. This has been the complete history of Florida. Follow for the complete history of every American state.